this is my demon host of 2005 points of Wormhole Demons of Change. Leading them is a Greater Demon of Change. He is upgraded with an Exalted Magic Bolt and a Symbol of Change on a 2-up. Next to him we have Hooper the Unbound. He is my Demon Champion of Change, and he's upgraded with a Great Magic Bolt and Psychic 2. In front of them we have 5 Pink Warriors. Now you'll notice on the army list that the Pink Warriors and the Change Warriors have got almost exactly the same stat line. The Pink Warriors have got the split ability, but that's the only difference, other than the points cost. The Pink Warriors cost a lot more than Change Warriors. I think the Pink Warriors cost 250 points for 5, where the Change Warriors are significantly less than that. Now I've queried that with the writer, and he's explained that that's because the Pink Warriors, when they die, they split into 2 Blue Warriors. So each Pink Warrior will split into 2 Blue Warriors, and then each Blue Warrior will split into a Yellow Warrior. So the cost of the Pink Warriors includes the cost of the Blue Warriors and the Yellow Warriors that they then split into. So that's why the stat line for the Change Demons is almost exactly the same as the Pink Warriors. The Change Warriors is almost exactly the same as the Pink Warriors, but the points cost for the Pink Warriors is significantly higher. It's because it includes the cost of 10 Blue Warriors and 10 Yellow Warriors. The Blue Warriors and the Yellow Warriors won't be deployed straight away. They will only start to appear as the Pink Warriors start taking damage. We've got 6 Manta Demons. That's 2 squads of 3 combined into a single squad of 6. We've got 3 Flame Demons, and then finally we've got a Flame Chariot. So the only things with upgrades are the Greater Demon and the Demon Champion. Everything else is basic. Spoiling for a fight, we've got the AI controlled Orc Marauders. They are headed up by a Warlord who has been upgraded with a Twin Carbine, an Ultra Claw, an Attack Beast and the War ability, which gives extra 3-inch movement for him and his unit when they advance, or an extra 6 inches of movement for him and his unit if they charge. Next to him there's another Warlord who is equipped almost exactly the same. He's got a Twin Carbine and an Ultra Claw, but no Attack Beast and no War ability. Each Warlord will be teamed up with a squad of 10 Orc Mob. So each of the Orc Mobs has got a heavy machine gun upgrade, so here, and this squad has got one upgraded with an Ultra Claw. Otherwise they've all got pistols and close combat weapons. We've also got a Goblin Herd. It's actually 2 squads of 10 Goblin Herd joined together into one big herd of 20. They've simply got pistols and close combat weapons. We've got 1 Orc Walker. The Orc Walker is equipped with 2 Walker Claws and 2 heavy flamethrowers. We've got 3 Goblin Walkers, and each of these is equipped with a mini claw and a rocket launcher. And then finally we've got the Battle Truck. The Battle Truck is upgraded with a cannon, a wrecking ball. It's not really a ball, it's a claw, but there isn't a stat line for a claw, so we're going to say that's a wrecking ball, and 3 additional machine guns, giving it 4 heavy machine guns in total. For the purposes of the AI rules, the Battle Truck is classed as a shooting unit, the Big Goblin Herd is classed as a shooting unit, and everything else is classed as a hybrid unit. Orc Marauders have discovered an abandoned refinery facility, and they're moving in to see what loot they can find. The bulk of the Orc force is located on this flank. 24 inches in stops at the Battle Truck, so these 2 Goblin Walkers are considered to be in the centre sector, and over on this sector we've got the Goblin Herd and the Orc Walker. We've got 4 objectives. We've got Objective 2 up on that building, we've got Objective 4 over here just outside the Orc deployment zone, we've got objective 3 there amongst those crates, and we've got objective 1 over here. The orcs are not alone in ransacking the refinery. Some demons of change have appeared out of the void, and they seem to be interested in harnessing the potential energy that is still present within the refinery. At the moment it's only a small party, but of course demons can materialise in from the void whenever and wherever they please. Because every unit in the demon army has got the ambush ability, I've only deployed 2 units on the battlefield, hoping to minimise my casualties on the first turn. Everything else can start arriving at the end of turn 1, or beginning of turn 2 to be more precise. So obviously with only 2 units on the board, I finished putting down first ahead of the AI player, so I get first activation. So starting things off, the Demon Champion has advanced forwards and is staying within 3 inches of objective 1, so that hopefully by the end of this round we'll have secured objective 1. Over to the Orcs activation. First activation for the Orcs is going to be in Sector 1, and that will be the battle truck, which has got the main warlord with his mob of Orcs in. Right, the truck initially rushed forwards, keeping its rear end within 3 inches of objective 4 over there, but then there was nothing in range for it to shoot at. The pink demons, the pink warriors, were obscured behind these big tanks, so the truck carried on rushing forwards towards objective 3. In response to that threat, the pink warriors, not being cowardly at all, being tricksy, have darted behind this building, so they've rushed forwards 12 inches behind this building so that they're out of sight of the Orc Marauders battle truck. Now that's all of the activations for the Demons of Change at the moment, so we're now going to get on with moving lots and lots of Orcs. The next Orc unit to activate will be a unit in the centre, so that will be one of the Goblin Walkers, which will simply advance forwards and capture objective 4. So this Goblin Walker has just advanced forwards, still within 3 inches of objective 4, and is following after the war boss, the warlord, in the truck. Next Orc unit is in the centre, so that'll be the other Goblin Walker, and he'll just catch up with his buddy. So both of these Goblin Walkers now effectively holding on to objective 4. It won't actually count as captured until the start of the next turn though. Next unit will be a unit on the other flank, so that will be either the Orc Walker or the Goblins. So the Orc Walker is closest to the objective, but it can't actually get up there, so what we'll do is it will move around this building and advance towards the next closest objective, which would be the one around there. And with the clanking of gears and servos, off it goes. The next unit to activate will be, we currently don't have any units in the centre, so it will either be a unit on this flank or it will be the Goblins. So that will be the Goblins, and the Goblins have swarmed up onto objective 2. Next unit to activate will have to be a unit over here, because there's no units left in the centre and all the units over there have already activated. So these units were in the centre, but they're not anymore and they've activated anyway. So the only units left to activate are this warlord with his Orc mob, this Goblin Walker, and the Orc warlord and his mob inside the battle truck. So that will be, based on the AI rules, it will be the warlord in the battle truck, because that is a unit closest to an uncaptured objective. Whilst we've got units within 3 inches of this objective and the battle truck is within 3 inches of that objective, they don't count as captured until the end of the turn. So yeah, these guys are further away from that objective than these guys will be from that. And the AI rules say that the if a unit starts in a transport, after the transport is activated, then the unit inside it will disembark when they activate. When a unit disembarks from a transport, it can move up to 6 inches and then it can still shoot. Now there's 3 orcs that can't see those pink warriors, and of the pink warriors that can be seen there's only 2 of them, so the pink warriors would count as being in cover, but they've also got the stealth ability. Now orcs have got the bad shot rule, which means when they shoot they are quality 5. Stealthy on the pink warriors is -1 to hit, and being in cover is another -1 to hit. So with this rule set, any unmodified roll of a 6 is a success, so the orcs can still hit on 6s. So let's roll some attack dice. So we'll do the attacks from the warlord with his twin carbine and the 6 orcs that can see the pink warriors with their pistols. So this is 10 attacks in total. There's no AP on any of these, and they're all hitting on the same. They're all going to be hitting on 6s, so we'll do these ones together. Hitting on 6s. And there is 1 success. And pink warriors save on a 5-up. And that's a 2, so one of the pink warriors dies. Then we've got 3 attacks from the heavy machine gun, hit on 6s, and that's 1 hit. Now this is a -1 AP, so again this will save on a 6, and that saves. The pink warrior screams and vanishes, and in its place 2 gibbering blue warriors have materialised. And with the sound of gunfire, the remaining orc mob and the goblin walker have rushed forwards, hoping to get into the fight themselves, and that'll be the end of turn 1. And at the end of turn 1, the orcs are in control of objective 3, objective 4 and objective 2, whilst the demons of change are in control of objective 1. Now the demons of change will get to go first because they finished activating first, and we can now start ambushing in other demon units. The fabric of reality tears, and the greater demon of change flickers into being. Also down here we've got the flame demons, and over there we've got the manta demons. I've kept the flame chariot in ambush for now in case I need more reinforcements in the next turn, but to kick things off we're going to activate the greater demon of change. Greater Demon of Change has got a symbol of change on a 2-up, so when we activate him we roll 1 die, and on a 2-up, one enemy model within 18 inches will take 1 automatic hit at AP 4 with deadly 3. And that's a 5. So now I think we'll target the battle truck, because that's got the most hits to get through, and that will be a 6-up save, which it fails on a 1, that's an automatic fail, and that will be 3 wounds on the battle truck. Battle trucks have got tough 18, so 3 wounds gone puts it down to 15 wounds left. Now we're going to try and cast a psychic power. We're going to try and cast Inferno. The Greater Demon of Change has got Psychic 3, and Inferno has got a casting value of 6+. So we roll a die, add 3 to it, and hopefully we get more than a 6. Yep, 6 plus 3 is 9, so that goes off. And a unit within 12 inches takes 10 automatic hits with AP 1, and that's going to be the Orc Warlord with his Orc Mob. So the majority of the unit is made up of Orc Mob units, so they're deemed to have, the unit is deemed to have a defense value of 5+, and this is going to be AP 1, so they save on 6s. And there's a single 6, so that is 9 dead orcs. The Orc Warlord gulps in disbelief as 9 of his orcs get vaporised in demonic flame, And now the Greater Demon of Change is going to charge the battle truck. Greater Demon of Change gets 9 attacks with his Exalted Power Staff, hitting on 2s. That's everything hit. And this is AP1, so 9 saves needing 3s. And that's 1, 2, 3, 4 fails. So that puts it down to 11 wounds left. Now the Orc Warlord has to take a morale test, him and the machine gunner that's left in the squad. So this is going to be a quality test, and it's a 3-up. So on a 1 or a 2, they run away screaming. And that's a 6, so they pass. Now the battle truck has got no weapons to attack back with. The Wrecking Ball is an impact weapon, gives impact +3, and the truck itself has got impact 6. But that only counts when the truck actually charges an enemy unit. It doesn't have any close combat weapons itself, which is a little bit odd. But I'm pretty sure, having seen some of Wylock's videos, that he does the same thing. It hasn't got any crew attacks or anything like that, which seems a bit odd. But there we go, it's got nothing to attack with. So the battle truck is deemed to have automatically lost the melee, so it now takes a morale check, which is 4-up. And it fails, so the battle truck is routed. And with the battle truck out of the way, the Greater Demon of Change has consolidated towards the Warlord. Over on this flank, the Orc Walker was the closest unit to an uncaptured objective, so it has rushed forwards round the corner, heading for objective 1, and it's run round the corner and come face to face with Hooper the Unbound. For the Demons of Change activation, the Flame Demons are going to try and finish off the Warlord and the remaining Orc. So they're outside of charge range at the minute, and but they're inside a shooting range. So I think they're just going to advance forwards as far as they can, or as close as they can, and try and finish them off with flame fire. Flame fire, yeah, flame fire. Flame Demons have got 3 attacks each, so that's 9 attacks, hitting on 4s. And that is 5 successes. Now these are AP1, and like I say, we've decided that the Warlord makes up the majority of the unit at the minute, and a Warlord has got defense 4-up, so this will be 5-up saves. And they all fail. So the Warlord has got tough 3, and an Orc has only got 1 wound, so that is the unit wiped out. The Warlord and his mob have been vaporised. Next Orc activation will be in the centre. There aren't any, so we move over to the other flank, and that will be the Goblins. Now there's always a bit of controversy when you're using AI rules. The Goblins are classed as a shooting unit, and the decision tree for the shooting unit says, is there an uncontrolled objective? Yes, there is. Right, so if they advance, will there be a unit within shooting range? No, there won't, if they advance towards it. So they have to rush towards the nearest objective, which is this one. Now, I think that kind of makes sense. They could have advanced towards the Manta Demons and shot at them, but that wouldn't be heading towards the next objective. So I think it still makes sense, because they are goblins. Goblins are cowardly, and if they suddenly had a bunch of nasty slathering demons appearing out of nowhere behind them, I think they might be inclined to run after the big clanker away from the big nasty demons. That's my logic anyway. Please feel free to disagree, but that's the logic we're following. On to the Demons of Change activation. Now, I'm aware that my most powerful unit is a little bit exposed now. We've taken out the biggest threat, which is the battle truck, but yeah, we've only got Orc units over on this flank that have yet to activate. So what I'm going to do is take the unit of pink and blue warriors and rush them around to the other side of the greater demon to form a bit of a barrier between him and the oncoming orc mob and the goblin walkers. So I've measured up already. The pink and blue warriors will be able to rush 12 inches around to the other side of the greater demon. And there we are, the pink and blue demons, the lesser demons rushing to protect the greater demon. And they are still within a 6-inch by 6-inch footprint, so it's still perfectly legal and more than an inch away from the greater demon. So on to the orcs activation, and the only units left to activate, like I said, are the orc mob and the 3 goblin walkers, and it will be the orc mob with the remaining warlord that will activate, and they are a hybrid unit, so they will simply charge the blue warriors and pink warriors. And when all the charge moves are completed, there are 3 orcs that can't get within the 2-inch boundary for making attacks, but that's still 7 orcs that are within range, so that'll be 14 attacks coming in, and 2 attacks for the warlord. He's got a different profile, so we'll do the 14 attacks from the orc mob first. These will hit on 4s. And that was only 4 hits in the end. And at the moment the unit is made up predominantly of pink warriors, and they've got a 5-up defence. And there's 1 5, so 3 get through, so 3 pink warriors die and are replaced by 6 blue warriors. So the pink warriors ripple and bulge and turn into more blue warriors, much to the orcs' befuddlement. And now the orc warlord gets 2 attacks with his claw, hitting on 3s. They both hit, and these are AP 2. And now we have the majority of the unit made up of blue warriors, and they've got a 6-up save, so this will be 6s to save, even with AP 2. And that fails, so that'll kill off the last pink warrior and take care of a blue warrior as well. Okay, after that, so a pink warrior died, so that gets replaced by 2 blue warriors, and a blue warrior died as well, because there were 2 hits got through, so one of the blue warriors dies and gets replaced by a yellow warrior. So now the blue warriors and the yellow warrior get a chance to attack back. There are 7 eligible blue warriors to attack, and they hit on 6s. 7 attacks hit on 6s, and none of those hit. And at the end of the melee, the orcs inflicted more casualties on the warrior squad, so the blue warriors now have to take a quality check, morale check, and they are quality 6, so they need a 6 to save this. And that's a 5, so that fails, so the warrior squad is routed. And with the warrior squad routed, the orcs consolidate forwards onto objective 3, although it's currently contested because the greater demon is also within 3 inches of objective 3. Over to the demons, we've got the manta demons to activate and the demon champion, and on the orc side we've got 3 goblin walkers to activate, so I'll work out which one I want to activate next. Right, we're going to activate Hooper the Unbound, my demon champion of change, and he's going to start by trying to cast Cursed Mutations on the orc walker. This has got a casting value of 4+. Hooper has got Psychic 2, so we need a 2-up, and that passes on a 2. 2 + 2 is 4, so that means that the orc walker is going to be at -1 to melee, which is going to come in handy because Hooper's now going to charge it. Hooper gets 6 attacks with his great power staff, hitting on 2s, and there's 2 1s there, that's annoying. And these are AP 1, so the orc walker gets to save on 3-up, and 3 of those fail, so it takes 3 wounds. Orc walkers have got tough 12, so that takes it down to 9 wounds left, Gets a chance to attack back with 2 Walker Claws. These are 2 attacks each, and ordinarily this would hit on 3s, but it's hitting on 4s because of the psychic power cast on it. And that's 1 hit. This is AP 4, so Hooper needs a 6 to save, which fails. And then the Orc Walker gets 2 stomp attacks, hitting on 4s again. 1 hit, and these are AP 1, so this will be a 3-up save, which passes. So Hooper's down to 5 wounds left. Hooper inflicted 3 wounds, whereas the Attack Walker only inflicted 1. So the Attack Walker now makes a... the Orc Walker. Attack Walkers are Battle Brothers. Makes a morale check, quality 3 up, which it passes. And Hooper falls back an inch. Over to the Orcs, we've got 3 Goblin Walkers yet to activate, and technically, I've just realised, this objective is still technically captured by the Orcs. They captured it at last turn, and technically it's still captured, although it's currently contested, but it doesn't officially get contested until the end of the turn / beginning of the next turn. So currently the uncontrolled objective is objective 1 over near Hooper and the Orc Walker. So the nearest unit to that objective is this Goblin Walker here, so that will rush forwards around here as far as it can, probably up to the back of the Orc mob, and that's probably what the other one's going to do as well. Although it probably advance and then shoot at the Greater Demon. That's what would make sense, rather than rushing forwards. So the Goblin Walker has advanced forwards and is now going to shoot at the Greater Demon. Goblin Walker has got a rocket launcher, which is 1 attack. Ordinarily hits on a 5, but because the Greater Demon has got stealth, it'll hit on a 6. And that's a 6. And this is AP3, so this will be a 5-up save on the Greater Demon. That's a 1, so that fails. And this is Deadly 3. And Greater Demons have got Tough 12, so it's now down to 9 wounds left. The only unit left for me to activate is the Manta Demons, and they are half an inch too far away to charge the Goblins. That's 18.5 inches up to those Goblins. So they are going to rush over towards this way, and that way on the next turn they'll have some options as to whether to go this way or this way. I could advance them, or rather rush them onto that objective, but that then might draw the Goblins back. And with that only being turn 3 next turn, currently turn 2, there'll still be a chance for me to come back and capture that objective. So that's what I'm thinking. It gives me more options positionally if I head over this way. So the Manta Demons have rushed forwards and now have options on the next turn. And that's all of the demons activated, so onto the Orc's turn. The remaining 2 Goblin Walkers have both advanced forwards, and I figured I may as well do them both at the same time because they're going to do exactly the same thing even though they're 2 separate units. But they've both advanced forwards. They're going to shoot at the Greater Demon, so this will be 2 shots hitting on 6s. Would you believe it? And then 2 5-up saves. Neither of them make it, so that's another 6 wounds stripped off the Greater Demon, putting it on 3 wounds left. And at the end of turn 2, Objective 3 is contested between the Greater Demon and the Orc mob. Objective 4 is still classed as captured by the Goblin Walkers. Objective 1 is still classed as being captured by Hooper, and Objective 2 is still classed as being captured by the Goblins. So moving into turn 3, we've managed to do some hefty damage to the Goblins, so to the Orcs and the Goblins. So we've destroyed an Orc mob with a Warlord and the battle truck, and in return we've had some significant damage done to the Greater Demon, and we've lost the unit of Warrior Demons. I've still got the Flame Chariot to come in, so going into turn 3, that's what will happen. The Flame Chariot will come in as reinforcements, and that'll be the last of my units coming in from ambush. The Flame Chariot has come in next to Objective 4, more than 9 inches away from the Goblin Walkers. However, we don't capture it until the end of the turn, so at the moment the Orcs are still classed as having captured Objective 4. In that regard, over here, Objective 3 is now contested. The Orcs don't hold it anymore because I'm within 3 inches of it. Now, with regards to which unit I'm going to activate first, because I finished activating first, the most likely unit for the Orcs to activate first will be the Orc Walker over there near Hooper, because that's over there on that flank. If we roll a 1 or a 2 for Orc activation, it will be this unit of Orc Mob with the Warlord that will activate first, because that's the nearest uncontrolled objective. However, we're more likely to roll a 3 or 4 or a 5 or a 6. If we roll a 3 or 4, that will be in the centre, which means we move over to the other flank. And if it's a 5 or a 6, we activate over there. And again, that objective there is currently held by the demons. So the most likely unit to activate first is the Orc Walker. So it probably makes sense for me to activate Hooper first. However, my Greater Demon has only got 3 wounds left, and we've seen just how devastating these things can be if they roll 6s. So what I'm thinking is, I activate the Greater Demon first, and try and do something about this lot before the Greater Demon gets wiped out, and hope that Hooper can survive the onslaught from the Orc Walker. So, unlike me, I'm not playing the odds. I'm playing the I really don't want to lose my Greater Demon tactic. So when we activate the Greater Demon, it's got the symbol of change on a 2-up. So we roll a die on a 2-up, we pick a unit, and that's a 6. So we pick a unit within 18 inches, that takes 1 automatic hit, AP 4, Deadly 3, and that's going to be at one of the Goblin Walkers. They're all within 18 inches. So I think I'll go for the one at the back, closest to the Flame Chariot. So this will be a 6-up save, which it fails. It takes 3 wounds, and they are tough 6, I want to say. Yeah, Goblin Walker's tough 6. So it's lost half of its wounds, so it now has to take a quality check, morale check. Goblin Walker's a quality 5. Darn it. I was hoping to have scared it off. Now I'm going to cast a Psychic Power, Psychic Spell. I think I'm going to go for Firestorm. So this has got a casting value of 5 up, and with Psychic 3 that will mean I need a roll of 2 or more. I could go for Inferno again, and that will be 3 or more. That will do 10 automatic hits AP1, whereas Firestorm does 8 automatic hits AP1. And obviously this will be on the Orc Mob. But I think I'll go for the Firestorm. Again, playing the odds, see if we can do a half decent amount of damage to the Orc Mob, and then hopefully make them fail a morale check, although that didn't go so well with the Goblin Walker. So, 2 or more for Firestorm. That goes off. So this will be 6-up saves, and they'll fail, so 8 Orcs go away. And they've taken more than half of their unit size and casualties. So this will be a 3-up quality check because of the Warlord being there, who's a hero. So 3-up quality check. I don't know if you can see that over there, but that's a 2. That's a 2, so they fail the morale check, and that Orc Mob with the Warlord is routed. So if I could have routed that Goblin Walker, I'd have been a bit happier, but I'll settle for getting rid of the Orcs. And now for the remainder of the Greater Demon's activation. We've used the Sign of Change, we've used the Psychic Power, so we now need to decide, are we going to advance and shoot, or are we going to charge? And I'm thinking charge. We've got more attacks, plus we've got fear. We're hitting on 2s. So 9 attacks going in, hitting on 2s, and they're AP1, whereas shooting is only 6 attacks AP1. Coming back at us, we'll have 4 attacks. Goblins hit on 5 in close combat. Goblin Walkers, and I've just realised Goblins have got good shot as a skill, so that means they shoot on 4s, not 5s. So it's a good thing all of the rocket launchers that hit on 6s. But yeah, do I play safe, stand back and shoot, and hopefully strip enough wounds off one to make it run away? Or do I charge in, which means probably will do enough damage to make one run away, because if we get it to fail its morale check, but then I risk getting chopped up. If it had more wounds left, I don't think I'd hesitate on charging in. Because it's only got 3 wounds left, I think I'm just going to move forwards and consolidate my position on objective 3, and then shoot at one of the goblin walkers. Right, so the Greater Demon has moved, and we're now going to shoot an Exalted Magic Bolt, which has got 12-inch range, 6 attacks, AP 1, and we're going to shoot at that chap there. This will hit on 2s, and everything hit. So this will be 3-up saves for the Goblin Walker, and it fails 2, so that's not enough to trigger a morale check and make it run away. But it does put one down to 4 wounds left. So we've got 1 on 3 wounds left, 1 on 4 wounds left, and 1 completely healthy. But that is the end of the Greater Demon's activation. Moving on to the orcs, goblins. There are more goblins in that army than orcs now, so I think I will keep saying goblins. Their first activation is going to be... it was in this zone, so I did the right thing in activating my Greater Demon first. So that will be that Goblin Walker that's just been hit, the one on 4 wounds left. Okay, now rightly or wrongly, this is how I treat AI with hybrid units or melee units. The rules say that a unit will always charge into melee if it can, and that Goblin Walker is within 12 inches charge range of the Greater Demon. So yeah, it needs to get closer to objective 3. So in order to capture it, it's going to have to get quite close, so it may as well charge. That is my logic, and that's the logic that I've been using the last few games. So let's use that logic, and the Goblin Walker is going to charge the Greater Demon. Goblin Walker has got 2 mini claw attacks, hitting on 5s. Both miss. They've also got 2 stomp attacks, hitting on 5s. 1 hits. This is AP 1, so this will be a 3-up save, and that passes. Hitting back, Greater Demon gets 9 attacks, and because this is the first time it's fought in melee this turn, it'll hit on 2s. Everything hit. So this is 9 saves of 3-up, and I need 4 of them to fail. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's a dead Goblin Walker. Now that I feel a little more secure over on this flank, I think I'll start playing the odds again and head over here, and Hooper is going to activate next. And like last time, we're going to start by casting Cursed Mutations. That passes, because it's a casting value of 4-up, that's a 4, and he gets +2 anyway. So the Orc Walker is now at -1 in melee. And then we'll charge in. We get 4 attacks, no, 6 attacks, hitting on 2s. And only 1 misses this time. These are 3-up saves. And there's 2 fails. So that puts the Orc Walker down to 7 left. Fights back with 2 claw attacks, hitting on 4s because of Cursed Mutations. Both hit. These are AP 4, so I need 6-up saves. Save 1, fail 1. Two stomp attacks hitting on 4s. 1 hits. And this is a 3-up save, and that passes. So again, I've done more damage in combat. So this will be a 3-up morale check on the Orc Walker, which it passes, and I fall back an inch. And the next unit to activate for the goblins will be the attack walker, because there's no units in the centre, so it moves over to this flank, nearest unit to an uncontrolled objective, the Orc Walker. So that will charge in on Hooper, and this time both of them are hitting on 6s. So start things off with 2 stomp attacks, 1 hits, so this will be a 3-up save, which fails, so Hooper's down to 3 wounds. And then 2 claw attacks, both fail to hit. Hooper hits back with 6 attacks and gets 1 in. This will be a 3-up save, which fails, puts the walker down to 6 wounds left. Right, so that's a draw for that particular combat. The Orc Walker has fear and Hooper has fear, so we'll roll a d3 each, and whoever gets the highest score effectively wins the combat. And that's a 1 for Hooper and a 2 for the Orc Walker. So Hooper takes a morale check of a 2-up. That's a 1. So that fails, Hooper is routed. Didn't particularly want that to happen. And the Orc Walker will consolidate 3 inches towards objective 1. Back over to the Demons of Change. I think we'll start playing the odds again. So again, the next most likely unit to activate for the goblins is the goblins, because for the same reason, there's no units in the centre, so on a 3 or a 4 or a 5 or a 6, it'll be those goblins that activate, not the goblin walkers. So I think we're going to take the Manta Demons and charge in on those goblins and see if we can rout them. And the Manta Demons scream and stream in on the terrified goblins. There's going to be 18 attacks, hitting on 4s. Fail. Ugh, that was abysmal. That's only 7 got through. And goblins save on 6s. There's no AP on these, so straight up 6s. And 1 saves, so 6 goblins get cut down by demons. There was originally 20, 6 goblins down. There's 14 attacks coming back. Goblins hit on 6s. And there's 1 6. So this would be a 4-up save, which fails. Manta Demons are tough 3, so 1 is down to 2 wounds left. The Manta Demons obviously inflicted more casualties or more damage, so the goblins need to make a morale check of quality 6-up, and that's a 2, so the goblins are routed. So the Manta Demons have consolidated towards objective 2. My thinking being I could have consolidated them this way and then on next turn rush them forward onto objective 1, or maybe even charged the Orc Walker from the rear. But if I capture objective 2, the Orc Walker is not going to be able to get back in time to retake it by the end of turn 4. So I think I'd rather surrender objective 1, which it will capture, doubtless. Whereas on this flank, we've got objective 2 currently being held, or will be being held, by the Greater Demon, and who is backed up by Flame Demons. And of course we've got the Flame Chariot on that objective there. So, moving into the Goblin's turn, we've got this Goblin Walker will activate next, and it will charge in on the Greater Demon. 2 stomp attacks hitting on 5s, both fail, and 2 mini claw attacks hitting on 5s, 1 hits. So this is AP 2, so 4-up save, which fails, so that's another wound gone, puts the Greater Demon down to 2 left. Greater Demon now gets to hit back with 9 attacks, but because it's already fought in combat, in melee this round, it's hidden on 6s. has not a 1. They all miss. So right now the Goblin Walker is winning the combat at 1 wound inflicted for 0 back. However, the Greater Demon has fear, so that makes it at least a tie, because we roll a d3 for additional wounds to have been considered to be inflicted, and that will be 3. So that's 3 to 1. The Greater Demon wins the combat. Goblin Walker makes a morale check for losing the combat. And that's a 4. It's got quality 5, so that Goblin Walker is routed. My remaining activation is the Flame Chariot, and that will charge in on the remaining Goblin Walker and see if we can't finish it off. Right, there's no impact on this, so it's just 9 attacks, hitting on 4s with no AP. That's not too bad. That's 5 hits. So 5 2-up saves. That's not so great. And they all pass. Maybe this was a bad idea. Maybe I should have shot at it instead. 2 stomp attacks in on 5s. 1 hits. AP 1, so this is a 5-up save. This was definitely a bad idea, but that passes. And then 2 mini claw attacks in on 5s. Both miss. Okay, so no wounds inflicted, but again, the chariot does have fear, so it automatically wins the combat. So, morale check on the Goblin Walker, on a 5-up. It passes again, that's one plucky little goblin in there. So, the chariot backs up an inch. And then the goblin, again in theory, it should charge the Greater Demon. It should charge the Greater Demon, but it's out of charge range, so it will charge. I think it makes sense for it to charge the chariot that just attacked it. On the basis that it will always charge if it can, we'll do that. So it has charged the chariot. So both of these units have already attacked in melee, so they're going to hit on 6s. 2 stomp attacks, both miss. 2 claw attacks. Oh, that's 1 hit. So this isn't good. I need a 6 to save. That's a 2. So I'll take a wound. And then hit him back. 9 attacks. And there's 1 hit. This will be a 2-up save on the goblin, which passes. So that's 1 wound inflicted by the goblin to none by the chariot, but the chariot's got fear. That's 2 additional wounds deemed to have been inflicted. So morale check again on the goblin. Can it make a 3rd one in a row? No, it can't. That's a 1. So the goblin is routed, and we consolidate onto objective 4. And I've just realised that wasn't my last activation. I forgot about my flame demons. They haven't activated yet. The flame demons have simply rushed forwards towards objective 1. So this is the end of turn 3, and on turn 4 the Orc Walker, as the last remaining Orc unit on the battlefield, and as they finish activating first, that will activate first in turn 4 and will head towards objective 1. So these guys may be able to put some shots into it. But right here, right now, at the end of turn 3, we are holding, still technically holding objective 1. We are holding objective 3, and we are holding objective 4. And next turn we will be able to take objective 2. So yeah, even if we can't do anything about this thing on objective 1, hopefully we should have done enough to secure the game. But we're moving to turn 4 anyway, just to be sure. Start of turn 4, the Orc Walker has advanced onto objective 1. It's only got 12-inch guns, there's nothing in charge range, so it's just going to sit there on objective 1. The Manta Demons have advanced onto objective 2. The Flame Demons have advanced. They've got 18-inch range, 3 attacks each, hitting them with 4s. And that is 4 misses. These are AP1, so this will be 3 up saves. And 1 fails, so the dwarf is down to 5 wounds left. The Greater Demon is more than 18 inches away, so it can't use its symbol of change. So it's going to advance towards the Orc Walker, and then see if we can do some stuff with psychic spells and ranged attacks. Although having said that, it's more than 18 inches away. It can move 6 inches, it's got 12-inch range on its ranged attacks. The most it can do with a psychic power is, at that range, is 1 hit. So I think we're just going to call it there. And yeah, we're going to declare that a Demons of Change victory. They hold all objectives except number 1. So 3 points to 1 for the Demons of Change. Apologies to any Greenskin fans out there. I am a Greenskins fan, I do love my Greenskins. I also love my Demons of Change. And the main reason I went with me playing as Demons of Change rather than Orcs is because the last few games that, well, all of the games I've played on this channel so far, the Void, the Rift, the Demons of the Rift, the Demons of the Void, whatever you want to call it, Chaos equivalent, dare I say it, have always been the AI. So I figured it was only right to give them a chance to use, yeah, for me to use them rather than them being the AI side. But all in all, that was quite a good game. I enjoyed that. I want to play as my Orcs with me playing them, and they'll probably go up against the Human Defence Force next, unless I get my Dwarf Guilds finished off. But that could be a while yet. It could be a while before we're putting more videos up, because we are about to move house. And when I say move house, I mean move house. We're relocating 180 miles, and that will be at some point in the next month or 2. So I might get a chance to film another episode before that's finished. I might not. So if you don't hear anything from me for a while, that's why. It's House Move Chaos. But if I do get a chance to film another one, I will. But I'm afraid I doubt it until after we've moved. So until next time, thank you for watching. Please continue to like, comment and subscribe. Thank you all for your support so far. Please check out Wylock. I'm sure you probably have by now. He's inspired a lot of the terrain. Him and I think it's Eric. Yeah, I'm sure you've checked out Wylock's channel by now. He's certainly inspired me to play this game. He's inspired the objective markers. A lot of the scenery, the scratch-built scenery, was made with techniques from him, some of them techniques from myself, but also do check out Eric's Hobby Workshop. This piece of scenery here in the centre, that's definitely inspired by one of his videos, and the other bits of scenery are mostly inspired predominantly by tips from Wylock. Obviously we've got some Mantic scenery in there as well, and a game mat, I forget which one this one comes from, but yeah, the main ones I want to pick up are Wylock and Eric's Hobby Workshop. So please check them out. Thank you for watching, and until next time, God bless.